Welcome to our coverage here at Historic Farm Days. Joining me is one of our ag boosters on WITY, and that's Rich Eisenmann from First Farmers Bank and Trust, help making our broadcast possible all summer long, including Historic Farm Days. Good to see you, Rich.
Thanks. Good to see you too, Dave.
Nice to see your Allis-Chalmers back here this year.
Yeah, we brought the WD back again. We've had it here 3 years now.
You're probably one of the only banks in the area that has its own tractor.
I'm going to say that that's probably a safe bet. I don't see anybody else's here anyway.
I'll bet you use it in parades.
Yeah, we'll take it to the Sweet Corn Festival in Hoopeston this year, and did last year as well.
It's a nice touch here to have at Historic Farm Days. You've been busy. It's been quite a year for farmers, hasn't it?
It sure has. It's one for the record books. I personally don't have any stake in actual farming, but I think I know as much about farming as anybody else does for this year.
Well, your family certainly does.
Yeah, we've been around here since the late 1870s, and I've grown up on the farm. I'm the fifth one to live on the home farmstead, and yeah, we've been battling it for quite a while.
Tell me what you've been hearing from the producers.
For the most part, everybody seems pretty pleased with what they have. Here's the thing, though, if the USDA happens to be listening, if you farmed and planted your corn at the end of April, and I farm and plant mine at the end of May, and I come to you and say, boy, my corn looks good, you'd tell me, son, you're doing it wrong. You're leaving yield out there. And so we planted late, but everything does look good. Seems like it's more around Father's Day, not the middle of July with the way the corn looks and the beans, but for the most part, everything looks pretty good. Let's just say for the most part.
Absolutely. A lot of acres north of Hoopeston up toward Kankakee went into prevent plant. They just didn't get it done.
Yeah, I know one farmer, for example, just about 15 miles north of Hoopeston, 1,500 acres of corn prevent, couldn't get it done, and those stories are going to come up all around the country, I think, from coast to coast from now on.
I know it's going to be a tough year, but at least the commodity prices have rebounded a little bit.
Right, and if you have old crop, this is a great thing going on right now. For the new crop, we really don't know what we're going to have out there. My dad always told me, he says, you got to wait till you got ears on there before you know what you're going to have. You can't go out and guess. So even this year, we really don't know what we're going to have yet. But old crop guys, if you've got some left, might as well ride this thing out now.
Absolutely. They used to say knee high by the 4th of July. That applies to some fields this year.
That's true, and like I was saying, knee high by the 4th of July, those guys were happy to get 70 bushel corn. I hope that doesn't transpose to this year. But like I said, everything looks pretty good for the most part. Some guys are struggling. There's cornfields out there that look pretty rough, and there's some bean fields that look pretty rough, but a lot's going to change here in a month. And now we've got hot weather with no rain, and some guys are going to be calling for rain here pretty soon. So again, we're not out of the woods yet at all.
Not at all. First Farmers Bank and Trust is always there for the producer, especially during these challenging times.
Absolutely. We've already had some meetings, phone conferences, and different things with all of the lenders and the big boys upstairs, as I like to call them, the directors and that, and to put together some tentative planning and some structures here. So if we do have a disaster in the next 6 months, that we have ways that we can maneuver and keep our clients going and not just throw them away.
Absolutely. It's a partnership, isn't it?
It really is. I mean, I eat and breathe and all that with what my clients do. And if they're successful, I'll be successful, and vice versa. But that means we both have to do our part. And I do have some things to do when it comes to these sorts of things, planning out for what we're going to do over the winter. And hopefully the commodity price will stay high. Maybe we'll catch a good 2-inch rain here this weekend, and everything will be great.
We certainly hope so. I want to thank you for your commitment to agriculture at First Farmers Bank and Trust, and you personally.
Well, I appreciate that, Dave. Thanks for having me on again and giving us this platform. I love this bank that I work for. It allows me to do these kinds of things and come out here and you drive along here and you listen to two people who've never met each other before saying, I remember running one of those. I spent hours on one of those, or this is how this one works. And two guys that have never met each other become lifelong friends and never see each other again, but they're good friends today. And I get to do that with this bank. And then I get to sit at my desk and look across at guys who are worried about what they're going to do for their farm loan, and we're going to make it work. So this is a great place for me to be.
That's the key part right there. You're going to make it work.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to figure it out.
And you work out of the Hoopeston office as well as Oakwood?
Right. I have an office in Oakwood, and then I work primarily out of Hoopeston. That's where I live, and that's where I'm from. But I go down to Oakwood on Thursdays and spend all day in the office down there, or make appointments down there as well.
I look forward to catching up with you as the summer goes on here, Rich.
Well, thank you very much. I'm sure we'll see each other in Rantoul and probably here and there between.
Likewise. Rich Eisenmann joining us for First Farmers Bank and Trust, one of our ag boosters on WITY, and also help making our video coverage possible all summer long.